What is happening? Oh my goodness, guys. My day today? Okay. I think we are good to go. So we'll see. We are recording. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna have to keep admitting people. Is that like what happens? You're just continually doing that? This is crazy. Okay, hello guys. Me and Ashley wanted to pour into you guys tonight. Might have to. Okay. And we really wanted to touch on some really practical things, and it might kind of seem repetitive, but I think it's something that's really important, whether you're new and you're first starting, or maybe you've been in this a while and we kind of need this reminder, is two things. How to share your story and getting back to the basics. So I think a lot of us, especially when we first start, we're like, how do we share our story? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean share my story? Like, do I need to get deep and tell all my deepest, darkest secrets? Or, oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me? Oh my gosh. Can you guys hear
Did
me?
you hit use audio?
Yes, no,
I use
maybe so.
audio.
Because I just saw someone say they couldn't hear me. Okay, you can hear. Um, okay, cool. I just saw I couldn't hear. Anyways, so, do you need to tell your deepest, darkest secrets, or like, how is it? And I think, honestly, don't ever feel like you need to open up about anything that you aren't comfortable with, right? It's your own growth journey. It's your own process. But I think the biggest thing with sharing your story is sharing your story with the system, right? Sharing your story with this business, and your story is your story, period. So a lot of times we'll think our story needs to be someone else's, that it needs to be like hers, and that I can't share because it's not like her story, and I can't share because I'm not making bank yet. I can't share because I don't have the auto bonus. I can't share because, right? Will tell us all the time all the reasons why we can't share instead of all the reasons why we can. So when we keep telling ourselves like, I can't share because XYZ, you're going to literally block this. And it's really hard for me to not preach mindset so much because it is literally probably like the foundation of this. Business, but it's true, right? If we go into a post and we think, well, I can't talk about this and I can't do this because I'm here and and then you're just going to get frustrated, you're going to put your phone down, you're not even going to want to post. So we really wanted to give you some good insight because we are people where it's been a longer journey for us, right? We still showed up even when our paychecks were zero. We still showed up and shared our journey even when we didn't have a team. We were always, and Ashley's someone that I've been talking to. I mean, we started literally within weeks of each other. And so we've always been, because we knew our journeys were similar, we really connected in that way of being like, okay, so finding that person that you can connect with, a side sister that you can kind of keep each other accountable and motivate each other and push each other is huge, right? So the biggest ways to share your story are obviously the fundamental ones, right? Are literally our stories on our Instagram is a beautiful way to share your story. That's why they're called stories. I think of them as like the story of our day. And honestly, when I first started, because I want to take you guys back to Brielle, June 2018, Brielle, not right now, Brielle, June 2018, Brielle. And really what I did that I do feel like really brought people into my inbox, that really was that kind of took off things, because I hit my VIPs and I hit my 4K, and I hit that for a reason, right? And so the biggest thing that I think I did do in the beginning that later on I kind of lost is I was super excited for this new journey. I was really excited about the products. And so honestly, anything that Jess told me to do, I just did it. She's like, go live. I'm like, okay, I'm freaking out, but okay. Because I knew that she had been in it longer than me, and I knew that she was doing it to push me out of my comfort zones. And that's scary sometimes, right? It's scary to go live. Like, I didn't even talk my first live, okay? I literally held up signs. Those of you who know, I held up signs and played music in the background and just was like, this is my journey. This is my announcement. I couldn't even talk. I was shaking. I felt like my heart was literally going to come out of my chest. Okay. So nerves is completely normal, right? And here I am. I'm literally leading a Zoom. Like, what is even happening? What is even life right now? Okay. So, but that's why it's mindset, right? Was I scared because the live was going to blow up and kill me? No, that's not why I was scared, right? Literally nothing was going to hurt me with the live. But what I was scared about, which is why it's so hard to not preach mindset so much, is the fear of creating scenarios in my brain of what other people would think, right? That's why we preach mindset, because it's not that you cannot do a live. So we can't say those things. I can't do a live. I can't post. I can't share my story. It's not that you can, right? It's not that you can't, you can. You physically can get your phone and make a post. You can physically go on your stories and do that. It's that you feel that you can't. It's that you feel you have nothing to share, right? That's actually what the foundation is. So that's the root of the issue. But however, getting back to the basics of how you share your story is just being excited about this journey. So when I started, I almost treated this like this was my journal. Like this was my diary, but not like a really bad diary. Like, dear diary, Timmy didn't text me back today. Like, not like that, but like a diary of, okay, this is my day one on this journey. This is 4 weeks into this journey, and this is how I'm feeling. And this is what I'm experiencing, right? You're just talking about what you're experiencing and what you are feeling, which you know, right? You don't have to be top of the company. You don't have to be making bank to be able to share that, right? So you have the experience. You have so much content to share about. So you just share about what did the capsules make you feel like? What shake are you making today? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? I literally videotaped my first time, and there's something so amazing that people like about seeing like the first, right? Like they feel like they're on this journey with you. So I literally had taken a video of me trying my shake for the first time. I'm like, okay guys, it's the first time I'm trying the shake. I've never done this before. We'll see. And I posted that. Like I just posted my first time drinking the shake ever. I, posted like a play-by-play of literally my first day on the system. I'm like, okay guys, it's 2:00 check-in. This is how I'm feeling. And I still do that. I'll still hop on my stories and I'll say, guys, it's 2:00 and this is how I'm feeling right now, right? There's so much content that you have to share your story. Don't think it has to be. Now, if you are like me and you are that kind of, you like that inspiration, you like telling those type of stories, then that's great, right? But we got to get down to the basics of just sharing us and our personal experience. It's not about having the most perfect journey. It's about just sharing you. Like, you know what? If whatever you've struggled with, and that's what relates to people saying like, I've yo-yo dieted. So yo-yo dieted. What am I even saying? Yo-yo. And see, also owning when you mess up, because a lot of us get really nervous with lives because we're like, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Guys, literally, I'm on the Zoom and I'm saying weird words. That's okay. That's human. It's okay to say things wrong. It's okay to be excited and maybe say the wrong thing. It's okay. And a lot of times people won't post because they're like, well, I don't know enough, right? I don't know enough. Like I haven't gotten that experience yet. Maybe I'll post once I have like a good week experience with the system. No, share your first experience with the new shake. Even when we have a new product come out, I do the same thing. Guys, I'm getting a new product. Like when Sculpt was coming out or when the Ultras launched, I was like, guys, we're getting a new product. I'm so excited. I took them on that journey with me trying that new product, right? I let people know on my stories. I let people know on my Facebook, right? And I was genuinely excited about it. I was newly postpartum. I was so excited to try the Ultras because everyone was raving about them and I was jealous. And I was like, really, I want to do the Ultras, but I was, about to give birth to a tiny human. So you know what I'm saying? So obviously stories is a really, really good practical way on your Instagram. And I didn't know what I was doing. Okay. You might see like mine or someone else's on the team and they're all cool with the cool unfolds and all that. Literally when I started my stories, I did not know what I was doing. It was not like the most fancy thing ever. It gets easier with time, right? It's like any new program that you're learning when you're on a new website. You're like, what is this? I have no idea what it is. It's okay. Give yourself grace. It takes time to learn Instagram. It takes time to learn Facebook. It takes time to learn filters. It takes time to do that. And then all of a sudden you'll be a story pro and you'll be able to do all the things, no problem. But my biggest thing is I just need to get my content out there. I don't care how pretty it looks. I don't care. But if I do nothing at all, then I'm definitely not going to get anywhere, right? So the biggest thing, not that I'm just saying you should throw up a picture and you're just like, I love my 3 steps. Like put some effort into it, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? Like so many times we think it just needs to be the most perfect. Like we are comparing our pictures to people 3 years in. And guys, my pictures wasn't the best lighting. I was still learning all of those things. So I think though there's such an important with visuals with your content, right? If you are taking a picture and you're just like, that's your picture, and then you're like, I'm so excited about my 3 steps. Like, does it match? You know, when you're playing those matching games, right? Like, does this picture go together? Is that going to match your picture that you're portraying? Does it show your change? Does it show your excitement? So there's such a value in your pictures with sharing your story. A lot of people are really visual, right? It's just the society we live in. We're very, very visual. And so people are scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And I'm telling you this too. Here's the thing, fun fact. Not everybody is following everybody on this tribe. And so when you're comparing yourself and you're like, oh, my post isn't as good as hers, not everyone's following Shay. Not everyone's following Jess. Not everyone's following me, right? They're following you. And most people are probably seeing a lot of drama and a lot of news articles and a lot of worry. And then all of a sudden they're scrolling and they see you outside smiling and they're like, what? This is different. And then they're going to stop and they're going to look at it and they're going to read that this is helping, you know, your Black Label is helping you with your anxiety right now. It's helping you stay who saw while, you know, you're home with your kids right now, right? And they're going to be like, oh, what? Like, this is different, right? This is different than what I'm seeing. So I want to remind you guys of that too, because a lot of times we can get really caught up with our feed and our team and what they're doing, which is amazing. But like, I want you guys to know that it is so different than what everybody else. Like, I go on my husband's Facebook thread and I'm like, what in the heck is this? It's a bunch of gaming articles and news feeds. So anyways, the stories is obviously a good thing, but post on Facebook. When I first started, I posted like 3 times a day. You're going to have to work really hard to establish yourself. Not that I'm saying like every day, all day, every day. Like, let's be realistic. We have those days when we need to put our phones down and have a day, right? I would rather you take a day than keep going and being frustrated and like, I need to share my story. I need to get my content out there. And then you're just like discouraged, right? So take a day. I had to do that for a few hours today because my kids were driving me cuckoo banana Cocoa Puffs, right? And for me to sit and type a post, I was going to lose my mind. So I just did a live because it's a little bit easier instead of sitting and typing a post, you know, or hopping on my stories and saying, good gracious, like with a face like this and like having my patch and being like, oh, this is giving me all the energy today. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's realistic. Don't think it needs to be like, oh my gosh, I did laundry, just killing the game. It's like, y'all, I don't know how I'd be going through my day right now without my kids. Like, they're crazy. You know what I mean? So just owning that, like, we all have those things. So just when I first started, like I said, I probably made a post like morning, afternoon, and night. And of course it changes as you get bigger, but you're trying to establish that credibility with your story. So I kind of talked about my morning routine, then maybe in the afternoon, just something personal. And then maybe, you know, at night, something about like inspiring. I like inspiring quotes and things like that. So it wasn't always like thrive, 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 thrive. Right. And like I said, it's just very practical. Just how are you feeling? Like, what are you experiencing now? Maybe you missed a day. Maybe you ran out of your capsules. How do you feel? Right? Whatever you're feeling, being like, oh my gosh, I'm out of my capsules. I'm going to get them in 2 days. Thank the Lord Jesus above. I cannot wait. Right. So, that is like the biggest thing with that, is just, and keeping that consistency each day, but obviously giving yourself grace. We all have those days. Like I said, I'd rather you put your phone down literally for a few hours, like don't even look at it and just be like, okay, I need to listen to something. I need to just zone in and play a game with my kids. I need to do the dishes. I need to go do laundry. And sometimes that's when content really pops into my head. Honestly, I'm like in the middle of dishes and I'm like, ooh, I need to stop. And like, this would be a really good post right now. So sometimes actually stepping away is what really helps with that. But honestly, it's just zoning into that. So the last thing that I really wanted to say before I turn it over to Ashley, because I don't want to take you guys too long, is like, this is the motivational part of me, okay? Is it's going to be hard, right? This business isn't easy. If it were easy, everyone would succeed. It's going to be hard. But here's the thing. The posting is not hard. The showing up on your stories and making a 15-second video is not hard. It's not legit hard. What is hard is the mind games that we play. What is hard is managing our time. What is hard is to put ourselves out there and be vulnerable. What's hard is, you know, the excuses that will put in the way of this. That's what's hard. Being patient is hard, right? Showing up for this business when you'd rather just like watch Netflix for 5 hours, that can be hard, right? That's the hard part. The actual what we do isn't hard. The action of what we need to do is, it's just the discipline of it that's hard, and that takes time. And that's okay. Give yourself grace in that process. But anyways, I think I just really wanted to touch on that, because a lot of times we'll say, oh, making posts is hard, going live is hard. No, that's not hard. It's this that's hard. That's what it is that's messing with you. So we want to make sure that we're conquering the right thing, because if you think it's the posting that's hard, then you try to keep working and doing filters and having the best post, and you're fixing the wrong thing. Ultimately, this is what it is that's going to help. So anyways, I'm going to turn it over to Ashley. So Ashley, can you unmute yourself?
Yes. Let me know you guys can hear me before I start like babbling, because you know that's like okay, awesome. All right, so just pretty much piggybacking off of that, you know, with the mindset and sharing your story. Yeah, let's take back to Ashley 2 years ago, because literally, like Brielle said, we were within weeks apart from each other when we started. You're talking to a person, like when Shay first told me, hey, I need you to go live and like talk about the business, I was like, huh? Can you repeat that? Go live? Girl, I barely can post a video of me just doing something crazy. And for me, that was such a, like an unveiling. That was almost like me being completely like in front of an audience naked. That's kind of how I felt, because it was very much a vulnerable and eye-opening moment where I had to really kind of dig deep. But like Brielle said, you know, after that first live, it kind of went from there. And, you know, one thing I'll say to you is your lives do not always have to be about Thrive. They do not consistently, every time you go live talking about my 3 steps, if you feel compelled that you need to share something about you, that's good. Like there are times where I've seen people that are like, okay, cook with me. Hey, we're making breakfast. We're doing such and such. That's the part of your story that people want to see. That's part of the story that people are going to be attracted to. You know, you have to think back to something like Jess has said before, and even Shay, is you were you before Thrive. Don't stop being yourself because now you are promoting these amazing products. Like these products are bomb, and I'm going to continuously say that they're bomb. But at the end of the day, I'm still Ashley. I'm Ashley 2.0 now. So Brielle's 2.0. And giving your audience and giving people something besides just Thrive, because otherwise you're going to tune people out. That's the reality of it. You don't want to tune people out. You want those that you're trying to engage, you want them to really feel what you're saying. You know, for me, my story is I'm a single mom, and, you know, I have mixed children. That's part of my story. And that's something I continuously need to share and remind people like, hey, this is what my life is like every single day as single mom. But my story is not going to be the same as Brielle's story. My story is not going to be the same as Jess's story. And I think that's a lot of the times we can get so conflicted and kind of hard on ourselves when we're like, well, I don't have that great story. Or you want to try to almost like copy off of that person's story because you're like, man, Kristen, like she just brings it. It's like, but I'm not Kristen. You know, and that's something we have to remind ourselves. And that's where that mindset is huge. When you're like, I don't know what to talk about, go on a podcast, listen to an old teen training, read a book, listen to music, go exercise, just get your mind out of thinking what I need to post. And one thing I will definitely say is like, don't post just for desperation. Like people can feed off of that. They can tell when you're just sharing like, hey, I need you to like come join me. Don't do that. They can read that from a mile away. When you are just being natural and just being like, listen, man, today was a day, but you know, I'm just so thankful that I have a team that just continuously makes me feel good. I have products that make me just get out of bed when I don't want to get out of bed. One of the things I definitely will always share is with me losing my mom. A few years ago, I would have been sunken into a hole. And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, once upon a time, anytime I think about my mom, I would be like, delete, hibernate, totally log off, take a day, take 2 weeks probably. But then I started more and more, the more I got into self-developing and checking this, I can share on my stories that, hey, you know what? I may feel sad right now, but I'm just so thankful that I have a team that pours into me and makes me feel great about myself, and that I'm able to at least get myself outside. And that is something that's huge. And one of the other things that I'll say when it comes to your story, don't think you have to continuously be winning to make an impact. Don't think that if you're not succeeding, you've failed and you've got nothing to talk about. Guys, I've been in this 22 months and I've only hit 4K. That doesn't mean I'm a failure. My story is still just as impactful as a 200K leader. My story is just as impactful as a brand promoter. Don't ever assume that because you're not at the very top that you don't have something to share to your audience, that you don't have something for someone to really be inspired by. They're coming up to see you. They're not coming to see me. Exactly. Your story isn't defined by your rank. I'll tell you right now, if I never told anybody what rank I was, they wouldn't know the difference. So don't think that you've got to look to the left and to the right. You can be inspired by the person to the left or the right, but don't get yourself caught up thinking that you're not good enough because, oh, your picture isn't pretty enough or your content isn't the best. It's okay. My content isn't always good. Sometimes I have really crazy things that make no sense. But it's not about impressing everybody else. It's about who is that one person that needs to hear this. So think about that. You got to think in your head, if I just inspire one person, then I've done my job. But if you constantly go to bed overthinking to yourself, oh man, I wish I could have done this, I could have done that, then there's always tomorrow. Don't think one bad month, one bad day is a bad year. That's like when we sometimes cheat on our meal plan when we're healthy eating and we have a cheat day and we're just like, do you just automatically say, well, there goes that, throw the whole month away? No, guys. We get up and we pick ourselves up and we keep on going. We push forward. And that is something that in this business is something that we always are continuously learning. Learn through those failures, learn through those storms. And you know what? Embrace it. Embrace the storm as you're sharing your story. People are not always going to be inspired by, oh, I got that new car today. I got that luxury auto bonus, beep, beep. They're not always going to be inspired by that. What they're going to be inspired is, hey, I paid off my debt. Hey, paid off my car. I was able to get this thing for my child. That's what they watch. They're not always watching for the pretty perfect lifestyle. That's not always realistic. I mean, unless you're a celebrity, which we are not. They want to see the growth. That is the huge thing. The growth in your story, people are going to notice. Because I can guarantee you right now, people that have been watching me know I am not the same Ashley from June 2018 as I am in April 2020. And if they say I haven't changed, then I'm doing something wrong. Then I need to recheck myself. And that is something that we all continuously need to say to ourselves. And if you're brand new, give yourself time, guys. It's not a race. Do not think you have to, if you don't get to this milestone, you failed the system, you failed the business. Absolutely not. Hey, fun fact, didn't hit VIPs. When I joined this, ran for my VIPs, didn't hit one. Didn't hit a VIP. Didn't even hit the first rank till like 8-9 months later. And you know what? That's okay. It wasn't my time. But imagine if I had quit when I didn't hit my VIPs. All the things I would have missed out on, all the opportunities and all the blessings through my journey, whether I hit a rank or not, that is something that's important. That's something that we need to continuously remind ourselves is just think about what you're gaining from this. And, you know, when you're like, oh, well, I can't talk about payday because I haven't gotten a paycheck. So I went like 2 months, maybe 3 months, not earning a paycheck. That's okay. Yes, Jess. But that's okay. It's not about what you haven't done or have done. It's sharing the opportunity. It's just sharing what is available. That is something huge. And own your weirdness. Own your uniqueness. Seriously, I gotta tell you, TikTok has been like the best thing that could have happened to this crazy person because I'm a goofball. I'm such a goofball. So TikTok has been the best thing because it is showing people my goofy side. But I'll tell you what, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have gone on a TikTok. Own yourself, own your creativity. That is why we, Shay and Jess will say, what are your 5 things about you? What are you? Not, are you just like X, Y, and Z? It's who are you? Because that is who people are coming to look at. They're coming to see Amanda. They're coming to see Justine. They're coming to see Shonda. They're coming to see Kristen. That's who they're coming to see. They're not coming to look at, is Shonda like Brielle? No. Shonda Chandra. They're not going to see, is Amanda like Christian? I can't talk either. See, this is what happens. No. But don't put yourself in this bubble and in this box thinking that you have to be this certain way. You have to look this certain way. No. Because if that was the case, I'd always be in makeup, and I don't wear makeup. That's okay. But that's my brand. That's part of me. And so that takes you taking time to really invest in yourself and self-developing in yourself and wondering, okay, what is it? What am I? Who am I? What are the things that I love? What do I want to share people? There's a lot of twin moms here, which I say, God bless you. There's a lot of moms with twins. That is part of your story. That is something that people would love to see. They want to hear that content, that story, like, ooh, twin momming, I think that's a word. Twin mommying it's rough, because I'm sure it is. Again, God bless you. But that's what they're going to want to watch. And then you're going to have other moms that have twins or maybe triplets that are like, oh my gosh, you're talking right to me. But you can say, I'm just so thankful that I found a system that can help me keep up with these crazies. And even going in your stories, like Brielle talks about how she'll share, like when the boys are acting a whole hot mess, she's like, someone come get them. Help me. Oh my gosh. And then I do the same thing. I'm raising a preteen. Jesus, take the wheel. Like I'm telling people all the time, hashtag raising a preteen. That is something that people are going to look for. And that's something people are going to respond to. They're not going to respond to you trying to be exactly like the other, like your upline or like your sideline. They're going to be, they're going to look at what you have to say. That's what they're looking for. So sharing your story is so important. And don't be afraid of your story. Your story can really help somebody. You don't realize the impact that you hold. Doesn't matter what rank you are. Your story impacts many people. So the last thing I kind of want to say, as then we're gonna let the real preacher like spit some fire towards the end, because we all know we need that. The last thing I kind of want to say is just don't let other people, like outside people's opinions, dictate you. Don't let that person that's quick to say, that is skeptical, that's quick to say, oh, you're doing that, that's silly. Don't let them deteriorate you, because you know why you joined this. You know how these products make you feel. Exactly. They don't pay your bills. Even family members, I'm sorry to say, not all your family members are going to be cheering you on. They're not always going to cheer your success. And that's okay. Sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back, and that's okay. But you got all of us. You've got all of us to love on you and root for you and watch you succeed and watch you rise. But do not expect that every person that watches your journey is always going to be like, oh, I'm excited for you, because I'm going to tell you right now, that doesn't happen. But it's about holding on to, reminding yourself why you said yes. That is the biggest thing that you need to hold on to, is to remind yourself, why did I join this? Why did I join this team? And then when you continuously say to yourself, because X, Y, and Z, that's it. And you don't need to explain it to anybody. You do not need to explain yourself. That is one thing I've learned, is you never have to explain yourself. Because at the end of the day, you know why you started. Don't let them take over you. Because the last thing you want to do is leave and quit, and then a year down the line, you're like, man, I wish I'd stayed. And that would just be such a disservice if you left now and your blessing is literally right down the street. Okay, preacher, you're up.
I'm not going to steal the show because that was amazing. And I just want to thank both of you for pouring into us tonight. But I just want to say one thing. And I told Brielle I wasn't going to say anything. And then my mouth can't stay shut. But Brielle's going to hate me too, because I'm actually going to rebuttal one of the statements she said in the chat. Not because I think she has it wrong, but I just want to clarify something. She said people aren't necessarily drawn to success, something along those lines, right? That people aren't always, they don't always connect to success. Okay, this is what I wanted to say before we jump off here. I'm going to say this quick. She's absolutely correct when you're meaning success is fancy cars, fancy houses, $1 million in your bank account. People are drawn to success. So if you are not showing a success story, you're failing in your business. That's exactly what you're supposed to be showing. But what we're trying to tell you is your success story can look a lot different than what America or culture says is success. For me, being home with my kids was my dream. Being able to buy name brand cereal was my dream. That was a success. I don't really care to ever have a Ferrari. I don't want a big house. I want a fixer-upper on like 15 acres where I can sell eggs one day. That's my dream. My dream's not fancy at all, but I have to show up and show success for them to be drawn to you. People aren't drawn to failure, and they're not drawn to like flat, like mediocre lives, right? They are drawn to success, but your success does not have to scream money, riches, fame, and all of that, which I know that's exactly what Brielle was trying to say, is that the fancy cars, they don't really win people over, but you crossing off a goal on your list. For me, success was walking a block without getting winded. Or if you ever followed me for long enough, because I've been in this for 5 years, so you might not see it now, but my bath time with my boys was a big deal, because when I first came home, that was a time that we could spend a lot of time together, where before I would rush bath, like my kids would cry, they wanted to stay in it. Bath time was like a dream come true. Your success should be like shown every single day on your profile, whether that's you're breathing better, whether that's you've been able to wash 2 twins in 20 minutes and you still have energy, whether that's you paid off your car, no matter what your car is, that whether that is anything that it is, it doesn't matter, but you should be highlighting that you are not in the same place you were yesterday, that every day you're succeeding at a new level of what success is for you, and that you're not in competition with the world or society, but you are just trying to live what successful is for you. And I think if you can showcase that every single day, you're going to see a shift in your business that's crazy, because you guys are thinking it's when you get the fancy car or the big ass house, and that's not really true. If you show them right now that you aren't the person you were, and you're succeeding every day, and every day that you wake up and you take these steps, you're one step closer. And when you lose that 1 pound, or you go up that 1 flight of stairs, or you spend that 1 extra hour with your spouse, or you have that movie night, that's succeeding. And you do need to highlight success. So that's the only thing I wanted to say, is nobody's going to sign up for someone who's not succeeding. So you have to show that. But don't put success in a box, because it's not what society is telling you. You get to choose what successful is. That's dependent on you, your family, and what your goals are. But every day you should be reaching toward them and showing your people that that's what you're going for. And so I just wanted to chime that in. Love you guys. Do you guys want to say anything else? Or we?
No, you're good. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, because that's exactly what I meant.
I know that's what you meant, but I was like, it just made me think like that's a good point. So I wanted to spin off of it. Not that you said anything wrong. I just was like, ooh, that's good. I kind of want to say something now.
No, it's so true though. It's so true. Thank you so much for taking time out of your night to come together with us, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you. And I hope this helped you guys, and I hope it encouraged you, and I am so excited for the rest of this month. Bye guys.
Bye guys.